So we have role reversal here. Bill O'Reilly is going to be defending the idea of holding the government accountable. During the Bush years, oh, hey, trust Bush, trust authority, trust the government. It is un-American to challenge the government on their assertions on Iraq. How dare you? It is unpatriotic. All of a sudden, he thinks, my God, I can't believe a press secretary would lie about the drones.
The American people have a right to know what is being done in their name. Not specifics, but the general philosophy of combat operations. President Obama chose to deceive the American people on that front. If Dana Perino had said publicly that President Bush had ordered her not to give information about an important program, it would have been a front-page story in the New York Times and every other liberal paper in the country.
What are you talking about? President Bush did that all the time. He ordered them to say nothing about the warrantless wiretapping program. In fact, when President Bush was asked about it, he flat out lied on tape. He said to an audience, whenever we get, when you hear that we've done a search, we always get a warrant. It was a lie. And what did you do, Bill O'Reilly? You got a nice warm blanket to cover his ass. And you said, how dare you ask about this? This is important government stuff. You're helping Al-Qaeda if you try to reveal that government information, okay? No. Of course, you sit back, you relax, and you let the government lie to you. Now that it's Robert Gibbs, the former spokesperson for the Obama administration, admitting, hey, when the press asked me about the drone program, I was told to tell them that it didn't exist when we knew it existed. My reaction to that story was, oh, you don't say. Of course! Look, this is what's amazing to me for both Republicans and Democrats. And mainly for the press. You don't think the White House spokesperson is lying to you? Come on. Nobody can be that naive and gullible and ridiculous. Of course they're lying to you. I've got another shocker for you. And I know this will get you kicked out of the cocktail circuit if you say this out loud. But the Pentagon spokesperson is also lying to you all the time. No, I'm a radical. I'm a radical for saying that. By the way, only 98% of the country agrees with me, right? Another shocker, the CIA sometimes lies to you too. I know this is, for the Washington press, is like a big moment, like, no, God, this guy's crazy. All right, so now we have role reversal though, because President Obama has now gotten so-called Democrats and so-called liberals to defend the idea that the government should lie to you. So here comes Bob Beckel to argue with Bill O'Reilly that we shouldn't know anything about what our government does in a democracy.
Do you remember the Vietnam War? Do you remember that, Beckel?
Very well, yeah.
All right, do you remember all the press in America combing South Vietnam, trying to find out about napalm and other combat things that were going on? The Pentagon Papers, that was an illegal theft there. All of that was lionized by the press. That's the way the press should be. We should be aggressively trying to find out what's being done in the name of the American people. Yet you, taking the other approach right now, sounding like some right-wing guy saying, you know what, we can do whatever we want, and the people have no right to know anything. We're not talking about secret,
O'Reilly,
specific
O'Reilly,
stuff. We're taking it overall.
O'Reilly,
Well, that is what Beckel was arguing. He argued it for the entire segment. O'Reilly was right about that, but what's funny is in that characterization, O'Reilly admits, yeah, that's the right-wing position. We say don't find out anything about the government, but now because of the role reversal and they're on Planet Bizarro, all of a sudden O'Reilly's like, what is our government up to? I can't believe the spokesperson's been lying. Okay, well, damn it to hell, we need to know more about this drone program. Okay, the reality is both the Republicans and the Democrats were lying, and you should challenge both of those administrations, the Bush administration and the Obama administration. And yes, during Vietnam, we should have challenged the government. We should have found out what the government was doing in our name, because it did some hideous things in our name. Yes, Bill O'Reilly. Yes, Bob Beckel. We're supposed to live in a democracy where it is our government. And if it's our government, then we should know what our government is doing. But instead, they play patty cakes, political games, and they keep switching sides depending on who's the president, on whether they should know or shouldn't know. And honestly, it gets tiresome.